Hi, welcome to Quick Keys. My name is Buzz Hale and this is the fastest way to learn to play chords on the keyboard or piano. So, in the last video we covered how to make a major chord really quickly and easily, counting 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 in half steps or semitones. And in this video we're going to show you how to remember all 12 major chords in a very quick and easy way. That's why we call this Quick Keys. So here's the handy guide to the 12 major chords and how to remember them. On the keyboard you'll notice that there is an uneven pattern of black and white notes. 3, 2, 3, 2. And for that reason, sometimes when we count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, we end up with some black notes in our chord. Other times we don't. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And if we start on a black note, obviously we will have black notes in the chord, and sometimes it's 1, sometimes it's 2, sometimes it's 3. And there are 12 different names of notes: C, D, E, F, G, A, B, and the 5 black notes. And so there's 12 different major chords to remember. Now fortunately there's an easy way to remember the 12 by dividing them into 4 different groups. And that's what I'm going to show you now. The first 3 chords that are the easiest ones to remember are C, F and G. And the reason these are the easiest to remember is because they are all white notes when we count 1, 5, 8. So starting on C, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. We end up with C major being 3 white notes. F, the same thing, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 3 white notes. And G, the same thing, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So C, F and G are the 3 major chords that are all white notes, and that makes them very easy to remember. And also it means that you can keep your hand in the same position to play all 3 chords. So if I play my C major with fingers 1, 2 and 3 here, and then I move up in the same position to F, 1, 2 and 3 again, and G, same thing. So that's something that you could practice quickly, moving from C to F to G. C, F, C, F, G. So that is the first group of 3. The second group all have 1 black note in the middle, and those 3 chords are A, D and E. So if I start on A, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, I end up with 2 white notes and a black note in the middle. That's A major. If I move my whole hand up to D, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, I now get D major, also with a black note in the middle, 2 white notes on the outside. And E major, same thing again, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So I can now practice this second group of 3 majors, A, D and E, keeping my hand in the same position. Notice my middle finger here has pointed forward a little bit because the black notes are shorter than the white notes. So you have to move your hand into the keys a little bit. E, D and A. But your hand stays in the same position. Or, sorry, your fingers stay in the same position. So A major, D major, E major, to A again. So that's our second group. The first group was C, F and G. The second group is A, D and E. And once you've remembered those 2 groups, the third group is very easy to remember, because all you basically do is flatten each of those 3 chords in group 2. So instead of A, D and E, we now get A flat, D flat and E flat. And this group of chords has a different pattern of notes. So if we start on A flat here, and we go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, you'll see that we've got a black note, a white note and a black note. So 2 black notes, 1 white note in the middle. And that is A flat major. Now we jump up to D flat. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Same pattern. Black, white, black. And then E flat. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Same pattern again. So all 3 of these chords have the same finger shape and note pattern. Black, white, black. So you could practice those 3 chords. A flat, B flat, E flat. A flat, D flat, E flat. So we've now done 3 groups of 3 chords out of the 12 total majors, which means there's only 3 left. And the interesting thing about this final group of 3 chords is, firstly, they're different from all the other chords that we've done, and secondly, they're different from each other as well. And so the best name, I think, to give these chords is the odd ones, because they don't fit with any of the others and they don't fit with each other either. And so let's look at these 3. The first one is G flat. And if we start on G flat here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, we end up with 3 black notes. And this is the only major chord that is 3 black notes. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, G flat major. Interestingly, F major and G major were all white notes, weren't they? And so G flat, being in the middle of those 2 notes, is all black. It's the only chord that's like that, so it's a very easy major to remember. It's the only one that's all black notes. The second odd one is B flat major. We start on B flat here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. We now get 1 black note and 2 white notes. Again, this is the only major chord that is like this. There aren't any others. So again, it's easy to remember in that sense. Black, white, white, B flat major. And that leaves us just 1 chord left out of the 12 majors that we haven't done, and that is right next to B flat, it's B. If we count 1, 5, 8 from B, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, we end up with 2 black notes on top of our white note B. And once again, this is the only chord that is in this pattern. White, black, black, the only major. So our 3 odd chords are G flat, B flat, and B. And so you could practice those 3 separately from all of the others. G flat, B flat, and B. And if you practice playing all 4 of those groups, the all white note chords, the 1 black note in the middle, the 1 white note in the middle, and then the 3 odd ones, very quickly you'll find that you remember all 12, because it's much easier to chunk together little groups of 3 chords than it is to try and remember all of them in one big group of 12. So I recommend highly that you practice that, and after a couple of weeks you will memorize them, possibly quicker. Now once you've memorized all 12 and you've remembered the different note patterns of each, then you can start mixing up the chords into different groups and playing sequences of chords that are from the 4 different groups. And so I've prepared 4 different chord sequences now, and the first one we're going to do is, as seen on the screen now, it's C, E, F and G. And if you remember, C, F and G are all white note chords, and then E major has a black note in the middle, and each chord is counted as 1, 5, 8 in half steps if you forget. So that sequence should sound something like this. D, E, F, G. You might like to try and play along with me. The second sequence is appearing on the screen right now: D, G, B flat and A. So if you remembered your groups, you'll remember that D and A are both white, black, white. G is an all white chord, and then B flat is one of the odd ones that is black, white, white. And so that sequence should sound like this. The third sequence, as you'll see on the screen, is F sharp, B, C sharp and D sharp. Now here we have F sharp and B, which are both two of the odd chords. F sharp is the same note as G flat, remember, and so it's black, black, black. And then B major was another one of our odd ones that was white, black, black. C sharp and D sharp are the same names as D flat and E flat. So these are black, white, black. And so this sequence has quite a lot of different black notes in. But if you've remembered your groups, you'll remember which chords they are. So here we go. It should sound like this. And the fourth and final sequence, as you'll see on the screen, is A flat, E flat, G flat and D flat. And in this sequence we've got A flat, E flat and D flat, which are all from group 3, black, white, black, and then G flat is our only major chord that's all black notes. And so that sequence sounds like this. So those sequences have mixed up all 12 major chords, and if you remembered those 4 groups, it will help you to remember all the major chords really quickly. As I said in the previous video, the major chords are the foundation stone for all keyboard playing, so I highly recommend that you do commit those 12 to memory, because then everything that we do after this in successive videos, you'll find we can relate back to the major chords. And if you remember the majors, then it's much quicker to remember the other chords that are further extensions of those majors. The final thing to say is that obviously major chords are bright and happy chords, and to find them exclusively in a piece of music without any other types of chords, the music's going to sound very bright and happy. Now, there are plenty of examples of pieces of music out there that use nothing but major chords, but obviously they're only one of the many different types of chords that will be covered in this series of videos and that are covered in the Quick Keys book. However, It is worth mentioning that there are some pieces of music out there that do only use major chords. In fact, there's loads, but I've just written a little list down, and you'll find this list in the Quick Keys book as well. Tunes like La Bamba by Los Lobos, Three Little Birds, Bob Marley, Wild Thing by the Trogs, 5 Years Time by Noah and the Whale, Brimful of Asher by Corner Shop and Fatboy Slim, and King of the Road by Dean Martin. They're all examples of tunes that only use major chords. So now you can play the majors. You can go away and find those tunes and have a go at playing them. In the next video, we're going to look at minor chords, and there's just a very, very small difference between a major and a minor, but you'll notice quite a big difference in sound. So I look forward to seeing you in that next video. If you've enjoyed this video, then please consider subscribing to the YouTube channel, Quick Keys, and also you might like to consider purchasing the ebook. It's a 15,000 words comprehensive guide to all of the videos on this channel. All of the information covered in every single video is expanded upon a little bit and illustrated in the ebook, Quick Keys, and you'll find the link just below this video. Thanks very much for watching.